Not too long ago, e-bikes were seen as a trendy option for a small group of riders. But now, in California, they've become a common way of getting around. These days, you can spot them almost everywhere. Students riding to class, workers commuting to the office, and people simply enjoying a weekend ride. They're faster than traditional bicycles, cheaper than cars, and better for the environment. However, with this rise in popularity has come a new set of challenges. Hospitals are reporting more injuries from e-bike crashes. Firefighters are facing dangerous battery fires, and traffic officials are noticing how easy it is to modify bikes for higher speeds. Because of all this, lawmakers couldn't just sit back and ignore the risks anymore. That's why 2025 is shaping up to be a turning point. California has rolled out new laws to address these issues, and whether you're a casual rider or a daily commuter, these changes are going to affect the way you use your e-bike. To understand the new rules, let's first go back to the basics of how e-bikes are classified in California, because these classes are the foundation of every regulation. California divides e-bikes into 3 categories. Class 1 bikes are pedal assist only. That means the motor only helps while you're pedaling, and it cuts off once you reach 20 miles per hour. These are often seen as the entry-level commuter option, safe for bike paths and recreational use. Then you have Class 2, which also tops out at 20 miles per hour, but comes with a throttle. That means you can ride without pedaling at all, which makes it appealing for riders who want a bit more freedom or need a break during their ride. Finally, Class 3 e-bikes are the fastest legal option. They offer pedal assist up to 28 miles per hour and are required by law to include a speedometer. These bikes are designed for serious commuting and often share the road with cars. Each class comes with its own rules about where you can ride, and those distinctions are important because the new laws are directly tied to making sure these boundaries are respected. Without this system, it would be nearly impossible to enforce safety standards, and that's exactly why lawmakers are stepping in now. Now that the class system is clear, let's look at the 3 major laws that California just passed, because each one addresses a specific gap in safety. The first is AB 544, authored by Assemblywoman Lori Davies, which focuses on visibility at night. This law requires every e-bike ridden in the dark to have either a red reflector or a flashing red light on the back of the bike. The idea is simple. If cars can see you more clearly, the chances of a rear-end collision drop dramatically. A fact sheet supporting the bill pointed out that motor vehicles come with standard safety features like headlights and brake lights, but e-bikes don't, which makes them harder to spot and more dangerous for riders. Now, here's where the law goes a step further. While the Consumer Product Safety Commission already requires bicycles, including e-bikes, to be sold with reflectors, AB 544 adds a stricter standard. The reflected light must be visible from 500 feet when illuminated by a car's headlights. That added distance requirement makes a big difference because it gives drivers more reaction time, especially on dark streets where an e-bike can otherwise blend into the background. The second law, AB 545, takes on the issue of speed manipulation, and it's being described as a technical cleanup bill. Here's the context. Under California's existing rules, Class 1 and Class 2 e-bikes are limited to 20 miles per hour, while Class 3 e-bikes can reach up to 28 miles per hour. A law passed last year already made it illegal to tamper with an e-bike or sell devices that bypass those speed limits. But riders quickly found another workaround: smartphone apps. Some of these apps, available through mainstream platforms like the Apple App Store and Google Play, could digitally unlock an e-bike's motor to boost its speed or power beyond what the law allows. AB 545 closes that loophole by officially adding apps and other digital tools to the list of banned speed modifiers. As Assemblywoman Davies explained, technology is always evolving, so the rules need to evolve too. Her point was clear: innovation is great, but not if it puts riders or the public at risk. This means if you buy a Class 2 bike, it stays a Class 2 bike. No quick hacks or apps to turn it into something faster. The third law, Senate Bill 1271, may be the most far-reaching of all because it focuses on battery safety. Batteries are the heart of every e-bike, and when they fail, the results can be catastrophic. Across the country, we've seen fires in apartments, garages, and even on city streets caused by faulty or uncertified batteries. SB 1271 now requires all e-bikes, batteries, and chargers sold in California to go through strict third-party testing and certification. That means they must meet standards like UL2849 or EN15194, which are internationally recognized for preventing thermal runaway and other failures. On top of that, every certified product must carry a label showing the accredited lab and the standard it passed. The deadlines are also set in stone. Starting January 1st, 2026, all new e-bikes, batteries, and chargers sold in the state must comply. Rental fleets have a longer window until 2028, but eventually, every product on the market has to meet these safety standards. This law not only cleans up the market but also gives consumers peace of mind, knowing they're buying products that won't put their homes at risk. So why did lawmakers move so quickly to pass these bills? The answer lies in both data and public pressure. Studies have shown that e-bike riders are more likely to suffer severe injuries compared to traditional cyclists. Hospitals in California have reported higher admission rates from e-bike crashes, partly because these bikes can hit higher speeds and carry more weight, making accidents more damaging. At the same time, the number of battery fires linked to uncertified products has been climbing, especially in urban areas where people charge their bikes indoors. These incidents aren't just numbers. They represent real dangers to riders, families, and even entire apartment buildings. By addressing visibility, speed tampering, and battery safety in one go, lawmakers are trying to tackle the most urgent threats to public safety. It's not about punishing riders. It's about making sure this growing form of transportation doesn't spiral into a public health crisis. For everyday riders, these new laws mean some changes in habits and awareness. If you ride at night, you'll now need to make sure you have the right rear reflector or a flashing red light, because without it, you're not only unsafe but also breaking the law. If you've been using or considering apps to unlock extra speed, it's time to rethink that choice because not only could it get you fined, it could also leave you with an unsafe ride. And when buying a new e-bike or replacement battery after 2026, you'll need to look for certification labels. That's your guarantee that the product meets safety standards. For manufacturers and retailers, the stakes are even higher. Brands will have to invest in testing and certification, which raises costs, but also raises trust in their products. Smaller companies that relied on importing cheap, uncertified batteries may find it harder to compete, while larger established brands will likely benefit from the new standards. Retailers will also need to be more careful about what they stock, because selling non-certified products could put them in legal trouble. Rental operators have a bit more breathing room until 2028, but they still need to plan ahead for fleet upgrades. These changes could reshape the entire e-bike market, making it safer but also more regulated than ever before. When you connect all the dots, you can see how these new laws are not just small tweaks, but a complete shift in how California is approaching e-bike safety. Riders will enjoy safer roads at night, fewer high-speed surprises from modified bikes, and more reliable batteries that don't pose hidden fire risks. Communities will see fewer accidents and emergencies linked to e-bikes, which will also improve public perception of this growing trend. Manufacturers will face higher costs, but also a cleaner, more trustworthy market, where quality and safety matter more than cutting corners. Of course, there will be challenges. Prices may go up and DIY hobbyists may feel squeezed out. But in the long run, the benefits outweigh the drawbacks. California has always been a trendsetter in regulation, and these laws could easily inspire similar changes across the country. Once again, what happens here could set the tone for the entire nation. So, will these laws change the way you ride? Absolutely. They're going to affect how you prepare for night rides, how you think about speed, and even what kind of bike or battery you choose to buy in the future. But rather than seeing these changes as restrictions, it helps to see them as upgrades to the safety of the entire e-bike community. For riders, it means more confidence in your gear and fewer risks on the road. For manufacturers, it's a push toward higher standards and safer products. And for the state, it's a way to support e-bike growth without ignoring the dangers that come with it. At the end of the day, these rules are not about slowing down progress. They're about making sure the progress lasts. California is betting on e-bikes being part of the future of transportation, and these laws are laying the groundwork for that future to be safer, more sustainable, and more reliable.